The mysterious job offer. The Galactic Union's job boards were always buzzing with activity. Aliens from all corners of the galaxy searched for opportunities to advance their careers or simply find a stable job. But one listing caught everyone's attention. And not in a good way. The listing read, "Seeking humans for a unique opportunity. No experience required." The aliens were baffled. Hiring humans. That was unheard of. Most species in the galaxy viewed humans as reckless, unpredictable, and downright troublesome. They weren't particularly strong like the Krellians, nor were they the smartest species compared to the Celtrics. And yet here was an interstellar corporation, known for its high standards, openly asking for human recruits. The alien chatter began immediately. "This has to be a joke," sneered a tall, scaly Zaquarn in one of the spaceport lounges. "Humans can't even handle their own planet. Why would anyone hire them?" Laughed another, a green-skinned Florn with 3 eyes. "This corporation is doomed," muttered a small, jittery Techlin who was reading the listing on her holographic tablet. Despite the ridicule, there was one alien who stood firm in their decision. Zarnath, the lead recruiter for the Alteran trading fleet. Zarnath was a middle-aged Rigoran with silvery blue skin and sharp, glowing eyes. He had spent decades working with various species across the galaxy, and he had seen something in humans that others didn't. "Humans are different," Zarnath explained during a heated meeting with the board of directors. "They have a way of thinking that no other species possesses. They don't just follow orders. They innovate. They improvise." The board members weren't convinced. They were all from advanced alien species, known for their logic and order. The idea of hiring humans seemed absurd. "Zarnath," one of the directors began, his voice dripping with skepticism, "you're risking the reputation of this company. If this fails, the entire galaxy will laugh at us." Zarnath leaned forward, his glowing eyes burning with determination. "Let them laugh. I'd rather take a risk on something new than stay stuck in the past. Humans might be our greatest asset, or our biggest mistake, but we'll never know unless we give them a chance." Despite their doubts, the board reluctantly approved the decision. The job offer was sent out across Earth, and within days, applications started pouring in. The humans were eager. Most of them didn't know exactly what the job entailed. The listing was vague, promising an exciting adventure in space, decent pay, and the chance to work with alien species. That was enough to spark the imaginations of thousands of applicants. Among the chosen recruits was a diverse group of humans, each with their own reasons for signing up. There was Jack, a mechanic from a small town in Texas, who loved tinkering with machines. Maya, a former firefighter from Mumbai, who was always ready to face challenges head-on. And Liam, a software developer from London, who wanted to escape his boring office job. When the humans arrived at the Alteran headquarters, a massive, shimmering space station orbiting a distant star, they were greeted by Zarnath himself. He stood tall, his blue skin glowing under the station's artificial lights as he observed the newcomers. "Welcome," Zarnath said, his voice calm but firm. "You are the first humans to join an interstellar corporation. Many doubt you. They think hiring humans is a mistake. I hope you'll prove them wrong." The humans exchanged nervous glances. They weren't sure what to expect, but they could feel the weight of Zarnath's words. This wasn't just a job. It was a test. A chance to show the galaxy what humans were capable of. As they were led into the station, the human recruits noticed the stares from the alien workers. Some looked curious, others amused, and a few outright hostile. The humans overheard whispers as they passed by. "Those are the humans. They don't look like much. This is a disaster waiting to happen." But Jack, Maya, and Liam didn't let the comments get to them. They were determined to prove themselves, even if they didn't fully understand the challenges ahead. What none of them knew was that the job wasn't going to be easy. The Alteran trading fleet was struggling. Their ships were breaking down, their systems were failing, and their competitors were closing in. Zarnath had taken a gamble by hiring humans, hoping their unique way of thinking could save the company. As the humans settled into their quarters, Zarnath stood in his office, staring out the window at the vastness of space. "This has to work," he whispered to himself. "Humans are our last hope." The stage was set. The humans had arrived. But the real question remained. Could they succeed in a galaxy that didn't believe in them? The answer would soon unfold in ways no one could have predicted. Unusual first day. The first day on the job started. Strangely, Jack, Maya, Liam, and the rest of the human recruits were herded into a large hangar bay filled with blinking consoles, alien machinery, and dozens of alien workers moving about in coordinated chaos. The walls hummed with energy, and strange holograms flickered above every workstation, displaying symbols none of the humans could decipher. A tall, insect-like alien with translucent wings and 6 glowing eyes stepped forward. His voice clicked and buzzed as he spoke through a translator device strapped to his chest. "I am Vorik, your operations overseer. Follow the rules. Stay out of the way. If you touch anything you don't understand, you may die." Simple. Jack blinked. "Friendly place," he whispered to Maya, who smirked but said nothing. Vorik's compound eyes narrowed as if he had heard them. "I did not request humans. This is Zarnath's decision. I will not be responsible for your fragility." Liam, who was nervously fiddling with his ID badge, stepped forward. "Look, we might not know much yet, but we're quick learners. Just tell us what you need fixed, and we'll get it done." Vorik hissed in irritation, but pointed to a large, circular machine on the far end of the hangar. Smoke billowed from the top, and alien workers scurried around it, throwing up their arms in frustration. "That," Vorik said sharply, "power relay. It overheats. If it fails, half the station loses power." Maya raised an eyebrow. "Why hasn't it been fixed yet?" Vorik's mandibles twitched. "We are waiting for a repair crew from Siltrix Prime. They arrive in 4 weeks. Jack's mouth dropped open. 4 weeks? You're just gonna sit here with a busted relay and hope it doesn't explode before then. Vorik crossed his arms. "Yes, that is the protocol." Jack exchanged glances with Liam and Maya. This was insane. Humans had dealt with broken machinery their whole lives, from rusty cars to leaky pipes. But the idea of just waiting for weeks wasn't how they operated. Jack shrugged off his jacket. "Well, I'm not good at waiting." He stepped toward the smoking machine. Vorik immediately blocked his path. "You are not authorized." Jack grinned. "Come on, I fixed tractors with nothing but duct tape back home. I think I can handle this." Before Vorik could protest, Jack was already circling the machine, peering into panels and tugging at wires. Maya followed, pulling her hair into a bun. "You can't just rip things apart, Jack," she warned. "Let's at least figure out what's causing the overheating." Liam knelt down, tapping at a nearby console. "I can try to run diagnostics, see if it's a software glitch or mechanical." As the humans worked, alien workers gathered around, whispering and chittering in disbelief. "They're touching it," one alien murmured, "with their bare hands." Another gasped. "Madness," Vorik hissed, pacing angrily. But as the minutes passed, something strange happened. The machine began to hum differently. Jack wiped the sweat from his forehead, adjusting a few bolts while Liam rerouted some failing circuits. Maya worked on sealing a crack in one of the coolant pipes. Suddenly, the smoke thinned. The power relay stabilized. The humming grew steady and smooth. The flashing red lights switched to green. Jack leaned against the now-cool machine and gave Vorik a lopsided grin. "There. Good as new." The aliens stared in silence. One worker poked at the machine cautiously, as if it might suddenly explode. "How?" Vorik finally asked, his voice thick with disbelief. Jack shrugged. "Didn't follow a manual or anything. Just used common sense. That pipe was leaking coolant, so we patched it. Loose bolts. Tightened. It's not magic. Vorik stared at the humans, as if they had just bent the laws of physics. Your methods are unorthodox, he said slowly, and reckless. But it worked, Maya added, crossing her arms. For the first time, Vorik didn't have a snarky reply. He turned sharply and marched away. As soon as he was out of earshot, Liam chuckled. I think we just made friends. Jack laughed. I wouldn't count on that. Despite the alien skepticism, news of the humans' quick fix spread throughout the station. Other departments began asking for human help with small tasks: broken doors, stuck ventilation systems, faulty lights. Within days, the humans were working all over the station. They used duct tape, zip ties, and a whole lot of improvisation, but the results spoke for themselves. It didn't matter how crude their methods seemed to the aliens. The humans got things done. And for the first time, the Alteran station ran smoother than ever. Humans solved the impossible. The power relay was just the beginning. A week after the humans arrived, the station's chief engineer, a grumpy, four-armed alien named Calax, stormed into the human quarters. His leathery skin shimmered under the station's artificial light as he paced back and forth, antennae twitching with frustration. Jack was lounging in a chair, balancing a wrench on one finger, while Maya and Liam played a holographic chess game on the table. I need one of you, Calax growled, tapping his foot impatiently. Something's broken. Again. Jack sat up. What's the problem? Calax scowled. The environmental control system. Cooling units are malfunctioning in Sector 7. If we don't fix it soon, the temperature will spike, and the reactor room might overheat. Liam raised a brow. Overheat, as in explode. Calax waved his hand dismissively. Not exactly. But it could force an emergency shutdown of the entire sector. That would cripple production for days. Jack whistled. All right. Lead the way. The humans followed Calax through the winding corridors of the station. Steam hissed from vents, and faint alarms buzzed in the distance. As they approached Sector 7, the temperature noticeably increased. Sweat began to bead on Jack's forehead. Calax led them to a sprawling control room filled with towering machines and blinking lights. Alien engineers frantically worked at the consoles, their faces tight with worry. There, Calax pointed to a large coolant pipe running along the ceiling. The regulators are offline. The automated systems failed. We've been trying to recalibrate it for hours. Maya frowned, examining the control panel. It's not responding. Calax sighed. No, the software isn't detecting the issue, and manually adjusting the regulators could trigger another failure elsewhere. Liam squinted up at the pipes. How high is the temperature now? Calax glanced at a display. 93 degrees and climbing. Jack cracked his knuckles. I think I see the problem. Maya looked at him skeptically. You haven't even touched anything yet. Jack grinned. Call it human intuition. He pointed at a junction where two pipes intersected. A faint red glow pulsed around the seals. That joint is cracked. I bet the coolant is leaking out, but the sensors aren't picking it up because it's evaporating before it hits the ground. Calax narrowed his eyes. And your solution? Jack pulled a roll of duct tape from his belt. I tape it up. The room fell silent. Alien engineers paused their frantic work to stare at Jack. Calax's antennae drooped in disbelief. You cannot be serious. Jack shrugged. It's temporary, but it'll buy you enough time to reroute the coolant flow and fix the software issue properly. Before anyone could stop him, Jack climbed up a nearby ladder, balanced carefully, and began wrapping the cracked joint with layers of thick tape. Maya crossed her arms, watching from below. If that blows, we're gonna need more than duct tape to fix you. Jack grinned. I've done worse back home. When he finished, Jack climbed down, wiping his hands on his jeans. Calax stared at the tape joint, horrified. That is crude, but it's working, Liam pointed out. Sure enough, The red glow around the joint faded as the coolant leak slowed. Within minutes, the temperature display began dropping. 87 degrees. 82. 75. Maya gave a satisfied nod. Crisis averted. The alien engineers looked at each other in disbelief. Calax muttered something under his breath, clearly annoyed but also impressed. "I will not pretend to understand your methods," he said, glaring at Jack. "But, thank you." Jack flashed a thumbs up. "Hey, we're all in this together, right?" As the humans left the control room, Maya nudged Jack. "You're really making a name for yourself." Jack the duct tape guy. Jack laughed. "Hey, if it works, it works." 2 days later, Jack's duct tape fix became the stuff of legend. Word spread quickly across the station. Alien crews whispered about the human who repaired the coolant with tape. Some laughed, others shook their heads in disbelief, but more and more, the humans began receiving requests for help. When a faulty airlock seal caused a pressure leak, Maya used industrial adhesive to reinforce it. When the automated loading dock stalled, Liam bypassed the system by manually recalibrating the power couplings. When the cafeteria's food dispenser broke, Jack fixed it by hammering the release valve, much to the relief of hungry workers. The aliens couldn't understand it. Humans weren't following protocols, yet they solved problems faster than any repair crew in the sector. But not everyone was pleased. Vorik, the overseer, watched from the shadows as the humans gained popularity. His compound eyes narrowed in suspicion. "They are unpredictable, dangerous," he muttered to Calax during a private meeting. Calax smirked. "They're effective. I don't care how they do it, as long as the station runs smoothly." Vorik's mandibles clicked in frustration. "Mark my words, this will end in disaster." But as much as Vorik doubted them, the humans continued to surprise everyone. And deep within the heart of the station, something was brewing. A crisis far greater than a simple coolant leak. And when it came, only the humans would be reckless enough to face it head-on. The alien rivalry. The success of the human recruits did not go unnoticed. Across the galaxy, Alterran trading fleet's competitors began whispering. Rivals like Trelvex Logistics and Krylon Heavy Industries were quick to dismiss the rumors at first. Humans? Patch jobs and improvisation. That's not innovation. It's desperation, sneered Draxel, CEO of Trelvex. But as the weeks passed, the Alterran station's efficiency soared. Productivity was up by 22%, maintenance costs plummeted, and for the first time in years, Alterran's fleet began overtaking competitors on key shipping routes. Calax, once skeptical of the humans, now bragged about them in meetings. "Call it chaos, call it reckless, but the humans fix problems before they turn into disasters," he told the board. "While Trelvex sits around waiting for repair crews, we've got humans who can solve the issue with nothing but tape and stubbornness." Draxel clenched his fists when he heard the reports. His own ships were experiencing mechanical failures, and Trelvex's reliance on automated systems often led to delays. He wasn't about to let humans, of all species, outshine him. Meanwhile, on board the Alterran station, Jack, Maya, and Liam were becoming minor celebrities. It wasn't intentional. They simply fixed what needed fixing. Liam rewrote the station's navigation algorithms, cutting travel time between jump gates by 14%. Maya implemented fire safety protocols that alien engineers hadn't even considered. Jack built a custom interface that allowed aliens with fewer limbs to operate human-designed machinery more efficiently. Their efforts didn't just impress their own station. Rival ships docked at Alterran outposts began requesting human consultations. Vorik, still deeply suspicious of the humans, fumed at the attention. "They are being reckless. Sooner or later, they will break something that cannot be fixed," he warned Zarnath during a private meeting. But Zarnath wasn't concerned. He watched the humans from afar, intrigued by their results. "The humans are teaching us something important, Vorik," Zarnath said, standing near the observation deck. They show that not every problem needs a perfect solution. Sometimes, a working solution is enough. Vorek's mandibles twitched with frustration. This unpredictability will get us killed. Maybe, Zarnath replied, or maybe it will save us when nothing else can. Enter the rival sabotage. It wasn't long before sabotage became the next step. Late one evening, as the station's night cycle dimmed the lights, a rival Trelvex freighter docked for refueling. Among the crew was an undercover operative, a Trelvex engineer named Rylix. His mission was simple: disrupt operations. Nothing permanent, just enough to cause doubt about human effectiveness. Rylix slipped into Sector 9's power core chamber unnoticed, disabling a backup cooling line. He smirked to himself as he imagined the humans scrambling to solve the mysterious malfunction. But his plan didn't unfold the way he expected. The next day, the cooling line began overheating, right as Jack and Maya were passing through the area, discussing lunch options. Jack noticed the flickering heat signatures on its handheld scanner. "You seeing this?" Jack asked, nudging Maya. Maya frowned. "That's not normal. Let's check it out." They climbed into the core chamber to find coolant leaking from a critical valve. Maya inspected it. This wasn't wear and tear. Someone tampered with it. Jack scratched his head. Who would sabotage a coolant line? Before Maya could respond, a klaxon blared overhead. The temperature in the core chamber was rising fast. "Okay, not good," Jack muttered. He jogged to a control panel and started overriding the failing systems. Maya tapped her comm. "Liam, get down to Sector 9. We got a problem. Potential sabotage." Liam's voice crackled over the speaker. "On my way." The race against time. As the temperature climbed, alien engineers arrived, panicking. "We need to evacuate this sector," one shouted. Jack shook his head. "If we do that, the reactor will overheat and shut down the whole station." Maya examined the broken valve. "I can hold this together temporarily, but we need to reroute the coolant flow." Liam sprinted in, breathless, carrying a spare cooling pipe. "Figured you'd need this," he said, tossing the pipe to Jack. The aliens stared in shock as the humans worked without hesitation. Jack climbed onto the overheated machinery, ignoring the blistering heat radiating from the pipes. "Okay, Liam, cut the power to that section. Now," Jack yelled. Liam flipped a switch, and the coolant pressure dropped slightly. Jack twisted the replacement pipe into place, sealing it with adhesive gel. Maya tightened the connections. The reactor chamber hissed as the system stabilized. The alarms faded, and the core's temperature dropped steadily. Jack wiped sweat from his brow. "I'm really starting to think I deserve a raise." Liam laughed. "You'll be lucky if they don't dock our pay for almost frying the reactor." Aftermath and fallout. Later that day, Vorek called for an investigation. Surveillance footage revealed Rylix sneaking into the chamber. The Trelvex operative was detained, and Zarnath sent a formal complaint to Trelvex's leadership. Draxel denied any involvement, but Zarnath wasn't fooled. "Your sabotage failed," Zarnath said calmly during a communication call with Draxel. "Humans fixed the problem before it became a disaster. I suggest you stop wasting resources trying to undermine them." Draxel's eyes narrowed. "Enjoy your little victories, Zarnath. Humans are just a passing novelty." But Zarnath knew otherwise. The humans weren't just fixing problems. They were changing the way the galaxy viewed solutions. The unexpected problem. 2 weeks after the sabotage incident, the Alterran station hummed with renewed energy. Productivity soared, and alien crews had grudgingly begun to respect the humans. Even Vorek, despite his complaints, quietly admitted that the humans had prevented at least 3 major system failures. But then came the asteroid field. The Alterran station's primary shipping route ran near the edge of the Vordran belt, a dense region of space filled with drifting asteroids and debris. Normally, automated defense systems redirected incoming rocks and cleared paths for passing freighters. That morning, the belt was unusually active. The station's sensors detected thousands of asteroids shifting unpredictably, creating a swirling wall of debris directly in the path of the next shipment convoy. Kallax and Vorik stood in the command center, monitoring the situation. "We'll have to delay all outbound traffic," Vorik said, his antennae twitching nervously. "That field will take days to pass." Kallax crossed his arms. "We can't afford delays. We promised delivery to the Andoran colonies by next cycle." "Better late than destroyed," Vorik muttered. But as they debated, Jack, Liam, and Maya entered the command room. Jack whistled low as he saw the live feed of the asteroid belt swirling across the screen. "Looks chaotic," Jack said, rubbing his chin. Liam pulled up the sensor data. "The automated pathfinder isn't going to work through that. Too many shifting objects. The system wasn't built for this level of movement." Vorik sighed. "Which is why we are delaying the convoy." Jack frowned. "You mean no one's going through?" "No one in their right mind," Vorik replied. Jack leaned closer to the console. "What if we manually steer the lead freighter?" Vorik froze. "You cannot be serious. Steering through an asteroid field is suicide." Maya crossed her arms. "It's risky, but not impossible. We've flown through worse back on Earth." "Earth doesn't have asteroids the size of cities," Vorik snapped. Liam smirked. "No, but we do have traffic jams, potholes, and terrible drivers. Honestly, this doesn't look much worse." Kallax chuckled under his breath. Jack pointed at the live display. "Look, if we wait, the Andoran shipment will miss the colony's harvest season. They need the supplies now. I say we pilot the lead freighter through manually. The convoy will follow in our wake." Zarnath, who had been silently watching from the observation deck, finally spoke. "I approve." Vorik spun around. "You approve this madness?" Zarnath's eyes glowed faintly. "The humans have earned my trust. If anyone can find a way through, it is them." Jack grinned. "Guess we better buckle up." Into the belt. A few hours later, Jack, Maya, and Liam stood on the bridge of the Dawnstrider, the largest freighter in the convoy. It wasn't exactly state-of-the-art, but it was sturdy, and Jack liked sturdy. The asteroid belt loomed ahead, swirling like a storm of stone and metal. Jack took the pilot's seat. "All right, let's see what this old bucket can do." Maya monitored the radar. "Small cluster forming at 2 o'clock. We'll need to veer left soon." Liam manned the engineering station. "I've rerouted extra power to the shields, but don't expect them to hold if we take a direct hit." "Noted," Jack said, gripping the controls. The Dawnstrider eased forward, engines humming softly as they entered the asteroid field. The asteroids began drifting closer. Jack's hands tightened around the steering yoke as he guided the freighter around the first cluster. The ship lurched slightly, scraping against a small chunk of debris. "Easy," Maya warned. "Relax. It's just a love tap," Jack said with a grin. But as they moved deeper into the field, the asteroids grew denser. Massive rocks tumbled across their path, spinning unpredictably. Jack's focus sharpened. "All right, we're threading the needle," Jack muttered, weaving the ship between two hulking asteroids that passed within meters of the hull. Maya raised an eyebrow. "That was close." "Close is fun," Jack replied. Liam wasn't as calm. "Fun is not the word I'd use when death is floating all around us." Suddenly, a massive asteroid shifted ahead, cutting off their path entirely. Jack cursed. "We're boxed in." Maya's eyes darted across the screen. "We can reverse." "Wait, no. More debris coming in behind us." Liam's voice was tense. "Jack, we got seconds before that thing collides with us." Jack's eyes flickered to the side. A narrow gap, barely wider than the ship, opened to their right. He grinned. "I see a shortcut." Maya glanced at the path. "You're insane." Jack pushed the controls forward. The Dawnstrider shot through the gap, scraping along the side but emerging unscathed on the other side. "See, easy," Jack said, his heart pounding. Liam wiped his brow. "I think I aged 5 years just now." As they approached the far edge of the belt, the convoy followed, sticking closely to the Dawnstrider's path. One by one, each ship emerged from the asteroid field without a scratch. The command room erupted into applause as the convoy sent in reports of safe passage. Aftermath. Jack leaned back in his chair, letting out a long breath. "Next time, someone else can pilot," he said, rubbing his eyes. Maya laughed. "No way. You've officially earned the title Asteroid Whisperer." Vorik, reluctantly watching from the station, grudgingly nodded. "They survived," he admitted, "but this doesn't mean I trust them." Zarnath smiled. "Trust will come in time. For now, they've done what no one else could." And deep down, Vorik knew Zarnath was right. Humans, reckless, unpredictable, and stubborn, were exactly what the galaxy needed. Humanity's hidden strength. The asteroid field incident spread like wildfire across the Galactic Union. News networks broadcast footage of the Dawnstrider weaving through impossible gaps, followed by an entire convoy emerging unharmed behind it. Reporters hailed it as a miracle maneuver, but those who knew Jack, Maya, and Liam understood the truth. It wasn't luck. It was human stubbornness, creativity, and a little recklessness. In the days that followed, something shifted aboard the Alterran station. Alien workers who had once eyed the humans with suspicion now approached them with curiosity, and sometimes outright admiration. Engineers from other departments asked Jack about his asteroid piloting techniques, while Maya was invited to train emergency response teams on human problem-solving strategies. Even Vorik, though he refused to admit it aloud, had started paying attention. One evening, as the station's artificial lights dimmed to simulate nighttime, Zarnath stood on the observation deck, gazing out at the convoy departing safely toward the Andoran colonies. Jack joined him, leaning casually against the railing. "Not bad for a bunch of reckless humans," Jack said, smirking. Zarnath's glowing eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "I will admit I underestimated you. Humans continue to surprise me." Jack shrugged. "We're full of surprises. Just give us a problem, and we'll find a way to solve it, even if it's not the right way." Zarnath chuckled softly. "Yes, I've noticed. Teaching the aliens." Soon, Zarnath's interest turned into something more official. A week later, an announcement echoed through the station. All engineers and crew members are required to attend human problem-solving seminars conducted by human personnel. Attendance is mandatory. Jack nearly choked on his coffee when he heard the message. "You're kidding," Liam said, raising a brow. "They want us to teach them." Maya grinned. "Guess we're professors now." The first seminar attracted dozens of alien engineers from across the station. Many arrived skeptical, arms crossed and expressions doubtful. Jack stepped up to the podium, holding a wrench in one hand and a roll of duct tape in the other. He smiled. "Welcome to Improvisation 101. A tall bird-like Krellian raised his hand. "What does tape have to do with problem-solving?" Jack spun the roll of duct tape around his finger. "Let me tell you a little secret. Back on Earth, this stuff can fix almost anything." The aliens exchanged confused glances. Jack continued, pointing to a hologram of the coolant leak he had fixed weeks earlier. "This simple duct tape fix. Not pretty, but it bought you enough time to avoid a station shutdown." Maya took over, showing footage of the asteroid maneuver. "And this. It wasn't about following protocol. It was about trusting instincts and making fast decisions. Humans are good at that because, well, we have to be. Our world isn't exactly predictable." Liam pulled up schematics of the station. "Now let's apply that thinking here. We'll show you how to identify problems early, create quick fixes, and think outside the box when systems fail." At first, the aliens hesitated. The concept of improvisation went against everything they had been taught. Most alien engineering programs stressed precision, rigid protocols, and lengthy approval processes. But as the humans demonstrated simple, effective solutions, like bypassing faulty circuits with repurposed wires or using basic tools for emergency repairs, something clicked. The aliens began participating. A Xiltrix engineer used human techniques to fix a ventilation leak in half the time it would have taken the automated repair drones. A nervous Teclan worker patched a power relay using spare cables after watching Liam's demonstration. Soon, word spread. Departments across the station started adopting human methods, combining them with their own advanced technology. Productivity soared even higher. The rival reaction. Trelvik's logistics wasn't happy. Draxel, furious over the Alteran station's rising success, called an emergency board meeting. His eyes burned with frustration as he slammed his fist on the table. "They're teaching humans to the rest of the galaxy," he roared. "If this continues, Alteran will dominate every shipping route in the sector." A silent hush filled the room. One of the directors cleared his throat nervously. "Perhaps we should consider hiring humans ourselves." Draxel's face darkened. "Never," he growled. But Draxel's pride didn't stop Trelvik's engineers from secretly studying human techniques. Reports surfaced of Trelvik's freighters experimenting with manual navigation through asteroid belts and using improvised tools for faster repairs. They couldn't deny it. Humans were changing the game. Recognition and promotion. Back at the Alteran station, Zarnath called Jack, Maya, and Liam into his office. "You three have done more for this station in 2 months than most engineers do in 2 years, Zarnath said, sitting behind his sleek, glass-like desk. Jack raised a brow. "Should we be worried?" Zarnath smiled faintly. "Quite the opposite. I am promoting you to lead human integration and innovation." Maya blinked. "Wait, is that a real department?" "It is now," Zarnath replied. "You will oversee the expansion of human recruits and continue training alien personnel. Effective immediately." Jack leaned back in his chair, grinning. "So, we're in charge of teaching the galaxy how to think like humans." "Exactly," Zarnath said. Liam laughed. "I give it a month before aliens start duct taping everything." A galaxy forever changed. As the humans left Zarnath's office, they gazed out at the bustling station. Alien engineers were patching a cooling vent using makeshift tools. A Krellian pilot manually calibrated his ship's engines with the help of a human advisor. It wasn't just about fixing problems anymore. It was about changing the way the galaxy approached challenges. Jack smiled. "You know, I think we just rewrote the engineering manuals for half the galaxy." Maya grinned. "And we didn't even need a degree to do it." As they walked down the corridor, Liam glanced back at the station's massive observation window. Who knew that the weirdest thing aliens could learn was how to be a little more human? And somewhere, in the vast reaches of space, more alien corporations were already drafting job postings. Now hiring. Humans. No experience required. Humans change everything. 6 months after the first human recruits stepped onto the Alteran station, the galaxy was no longer the same. It started small, duct tape on a coolant valve, a quick manual fix for a failing power relay. But those small changes rippled outward, touching every part of the station. Soon, those ripples expanded beyond Alteran, reaching far across shipping routes, trade hubs, and even the rival fleets of Trelvex and Krylon. The galaxy had witnessed something no one expected. Humans weren't just surviving in space. They were thriving. Galactic transformation. Across dozens of stations and freighters, human crews began appearing. At first, they were hired quietly. An experiment, a side project by curious corporations. But as word spread, the human effect became impossible to ignore. Freighters piloted by humans navigated asteroid belts faster and safer. Human-led engineering teams reduced downtime across major orbital docks. Planet-side factories hired humans to streamline production, improvising new solutions for age-old mechanical issues. By the time Trollvek's logistics finally caved and announced their first wave of human hires, the galaxy's top 3 shipping corporations had already incorporated humans into their workforce. It wasn't just about fixing things anymore. Humans brought something different, an ability to adapt, break the rules, and reshape systems that aliens thought were immutable. The rise of chaos engineering. The term chaos engineering began circulating among alien executives. The idea was simple: let humans intentionally disrupt systems, introduce problems, and improvise solutions. By embracing unpredictability, alien engineers learned to react faster, preventing catastrophic failures before they even began. On the Alterran station, Maya led a specialized team that simulated emergency scenarios. Alien crews would run complex simulations, only to have Jack introduce random variables. A coolant leak here, a false fire alarm there. You can't prepare for every possibility, Maya told the crews. But you can learn to expect the unexpected. At first, alien workers hated it. The unpredictability of human-led drills clashed with their need for structured, orderly systems. But as time passed, the results spoke for themselves. When a plasma conduit malfunctioned during a routine cargo drop, one of Maya's trainees bypassed the damage within minutes, without even consulting a manual. It felt instinctive, the alien engineer admitted. I just thought, what would the humans do? The shift in leadership. Zarnath watched these changes unfold from his office, quietly pleased. The Alterran station had gone from being an underperforming relic to one of the most efficient hubs in the sector. But not everyone was thrilled. Vorak stood stiffly in front of Zarnath's desk one evening, his arms crossed and mandibles twitching. With all due respect, Zarnath, this is madness, Vorak growled. The station runs smoother, yes, but at what cost? Our protocols, our traditions, do you not see what we're losing? Zarnath leaned back in his chair, folding his hands. We aren't losing anything, Vorak, he said calmly. We are evolving. Vorak shook his head. Evolving into what? A station full of reckless improvisers. I spent years ensuring this station adhered to the highest standards. And now we let humans guess their way through critical repairs. Zarnath's eyes narrowed slightly. And has it failed you yet? Vorak hesitated. No, but nothing, Zarnath interrupted. The galaxy is changing, Vorak. Adapt or be left behind. Vorak's shoulders sagged, and he left without another word. The final test. As if the galaxy itself sought to test Zarnath's words, the real crisis came 3 weeks later. A distress signal echoed from the far edge of Alterran territory. A colony transport carrying over 10,000 civilians had been knocked off course by gravitational anomalies near a black hole cluster. Their engines were failing and emergency systems were offline. The Alterran station was the closest facility, but even at maximum speed, no automated drone or alien crew could reach the transport in time. It was Jack who stepped forward. We can take the Dawn Strider, he said firmly. She's fast enough. Vorak balked. The Dawn Strider isn't built for rescue missions. It's a freighter, not a warship. Jack shrugged. Maybe. But it's the best shot they've got. Zarnath nodded. Permission granted. Jack, Maya, Liam, and a small team of alien engineers boarded the Dawn Strider and blasted toward the transport ship. As they approached the black hole cluster, the gravitational pull twisted space around them, distorting sensor readings and causing the ship to groan under the pressure. This is crazy, Liam muttered, eyes glued to the instruments. We're flying blind. Jack grinned. Good thing we're used to crazy. Maya stood at the helm, guiding the ship manually. Alien freighters relied heavily on autopilot, but Maya trusted her instincts more than she trusted alien algorithms. There, Maya shouted, pointing at the flickering signal ahead. The transport loomed in the darkness, barely holding position as it drifted dangerously close to the event horizon. Liam opened comms. "This is the Alterran rescue crew. Hold tight. We're getting you out of there." The alien captain's voice crackled weakly over the channel. "How? There's no time." Jack cut him off. "Time's overrated. We've got duct tape and determination. A galactic turning point." By the time the Dawnstrider returned with the transport, over 10,000 lives had been saved. Alien news outlets hailed the humans as heroes. For the first time, the galaxy realized that humans weren't just improvisers or quick fixers. They were problem solvers, risk takers, willing to dive headfirst into danger when others hesitated. Zarnath met Jack at the docking bay as the crew disembarked. "You've done more for this station and this galaxy than you realize," Zarnath said, clasping Jack's shoulder. Jack grinned. "Just doing our job." The legacy of humanity. Months later, the Galactic Union formally recognized humans as essential members of interstellar trade and exploration. New laws were passed to encourage human recruitment across the stars. Trelvex, Krylon, and even the most stubborn corporations began hiring humans en masse. And the job postings changed forever. Now hiring humans, recklessness preferred.